John Peoples over here on the YouTube channel says Baker's making good decisions these days. Baker's making good decisions because he knows he has a good coaching staff behind him. When you look at Baker Mayfield in the Cleveland Browns or the Panthers, or he was kind of like thrown to the wolves. Here, good luck. Hope you find your glasses, right? Hoffy, is Baker Mayfield possibly one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now? Let's say top 5.
No. But what I would say is, I mean, when OBJ trusted him and his dad wasn't in the media, just being an absolute douche canoe, Baker Mayfield was playing well. I mean, when he had weapons, he had Chubb, he had Njoku, he had Landry, he had Beckham. He didn't have anything really in Carolina. You brought him over to the Rams last year. He had Cooper Kupp. He had a couple guys to play with, and now you're seeing this year, Godwin, Mike Evans. So if you put talent around Baker Mayfield, he can be a good quarterback, and he can get you some wins. And he's been impressive. He's had and as to be expected, he's had a couple games where you're like, oh, or a couple passes where you're like, oh man. But I mean, that's going to happen. That is the NFL. But yes, he has been I'm not going to say an upgrade because they had Tom Brady last year, but I do believe that he has been an upgrade as far as what they were expecting to get out of that position this year. So I don't think they were expecting to be relevant or in the race for the NFC South. But they've surprised a lot of people outside of you.
Yeah, I do concur that Baker is a good quarterback right now. Definitely not top 5 though. Richard Jones is in the chat. He says, "Do you think my Browns can win the Super Bowl?" Listen, Richard, I think anybody that can make the playoffs right now has the opportunity to win the Super Bowl. If you look at the AFC picture alone, right? Who struggles the worst against each other? The Ravens always struggle against AFC North teams in the playoffs. Now, the Browns have a great defense. When they're playing at home, they are top-notch defense. However, when they're on the road, they're ranked 30th in major stat categories on the defensive side of the ball. They're not going to have one home playoff game. However, if they can get their defense right on the road and Joe Flacco just manage the game, don't go out there and try to win me a game. Just don't lose me that game. Get a 6-3 win, 7-6 win. The Cleveland Browns can make some noise, but I don't think they can win the Super Bowl. There's too much firepower on the the NFC side, and the Browns defense won't be able to stop it, I don't think, right? Hoffy, do you think the Browns can win the Super Bowl?
Not a chance in hell.
That was easy. Not a chance in hell, he says.
I mean, unless Joe Flacco throws for, 250 plus 3 touchdowns, 2 to 3 touchdowns a game and has absolutely 0 turnovers like he did on that Baltimore Ravens run, back in his heyday. But I don't think that it's hard to win on the road. Never mind win 3 games on the road. And then you get the championship, the Super Bowl after that. So I do think if they find a way in the Super Bowl and they're playing the 49ers, they can keep it close and it will be a good game. But I think the 49ers would get their revenge off of their regular season loss to the Browns this year.
That would be nice, as long as your kicker can make a field goal. 3rd round pick, stupid pick, but hey, it is what it is. Wayne G's in like in the chat, and he says it's like Josh McDaniels, best offensive mind in the NFL, but a horrible head coach. Hoffy, was Josh McDaniels the worst head coach of all time? Not once, but twice in the NFL with the Broncos and the Raiders?
No, Urban Meyer.
Oh, touche.
But yes, he's right up there with one of the worst decisions that you could. I mean, douche Staley. So I mean, he's on the list of topics, but no, I think there's a couple others that would take the cake over Josh McDaniels, and that's That's a tough thing to do. Who was the guy? Was it with the Browns? That they did they go 0-16 or
Freddie
almost did the
Kitchens.
no